Salesforce Field Service office hours. Welcome. We are back in action. We, oh, of course, my headset dies right when we're about to start. So let me just switch this out. All right. We are back. All right. I got my headset connected. We are charged up and ready to go. Okay. We're going to cover a couple of things today. One is shifts, sort of like a deep dive into the advanced capabilities of what shift management could look like, especially with the auto assignment of shifts. So Melissa is going to dig in and share what she revealed. And then we'll take a look at the field service mobile, what they call the Harbor Cruise, which is just a 5-minute overview of all of the really cool things you can do with the field service mobile app with all of the portfolio of products. So I'll do like a little bit of a voiceover talking about what product to use where. So we'll do that. And then maybe we'll, if we've time, work plans, work steps, but we'll see what kind of timing we have today. So Melissa, assigning work shifts, what have you discovered?
It was fun. Let me,
Sure.
I can share here.
Perfect. Did I give you?
Did you give me permission to share?
Yeah. Do you need to share? I mean, do you need permission to share?
No, I think I can.
Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah, let me.
Awesome.
Since we talked, I did get a little bit better. You can see this.
Yep.
Each territory is going to have a different number of resources and slightly different schedules. So this is a little bit better as far as it's just repeating more so than that other one did. So I'm hoping they'll give me more of this format than just a drawing calendar. So this is what we're looking at. We've got 4 resources, and each one it's a 4-week repeating calendar, and they kind of work different shifts, and they kind of chosen which Saturday Sunday shift they want, that thing.
And in your scenario, though, are they actually building this for the whole year?
That's what they say. Of course, obviously this is a new client for me because I just started here. So they say they build it out in January, and and then they make, look, if they need to switch or, I guess when they get to holidays, they kind of maybe adjust around, but they build out a basic, and they're just doing it in Excel, I think, is what I've seen. So this is a little bit better than what, I had first sent you, because this is actually a full repeating pattern. But what I was running into was I was trying to do a pattern by the week of trying to make a weekly pattern. But what I ended up doing is creating a template for like the daily hours. Like this day's 8 to 4:30, a swing is 4:30 to 1. And they've got a couple of late shifts. And then my pattern becomes a pattern per person, per resource.
And for the whole month.
So for the repeating pattern. So this territory is going to have a 4-week repeating pattern because there's 4. When I sent you before, there's only 3, so that's going to be 3-week repeating. So then we've got our shift pattern entries. You just enter based on the day of what they're choosing to work that day. And then when you get ready to go to shifts, to schedule the shifts, is you go new from pattern, and you pick whoever's pattern you're going to assign. And we're going to start, this is going to start on the 17th. We're just going to repeat it once for now. And then you can select status. We're going to leave it at tentative. And then here's where you pick your territory. And here's where you assign it to. This is what I was having trouble is, how do I get these assigned? Who did I pick? So we're going to pick Jacob. And then create shift. And then this gives me, I'm not showing that out. So then we go to the 17th. He's got his shifts created. So we can either create them as confirmed, which is probably what I'll do because I think at this point we're creating them for them. Or then you have no problem going back in the mass update and just update the shift status based on, territory.
Yep.
So that's what I finally figured out. I don't know if anybody sees pokes holes in this. I'm open to that. If we see this is going to be any kind of problem. And then I do have, based on what you had already talked to Kelsey about, of an operating hours on the resource that has 0. Well, these aren't confirmed yet, so they're not going to show. But anyway, has a 0, has no time slots on their operating hours assigned to the resource. So the shifts are showing it in field service like we want.
Perfect.
So,
yep. Yeah, that's the one secret. Go ahead, Bruce.
Yeah, is the stinger on that they have to be published or confirmed in order to show up as white space?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Correct. Yep, they have to be confirmed, and which therefore means every single resource, or if everybody's going to be working shifts, then just set the territory operating hours to be that time zone with an empty time slot. And then all of the availability will be driven from the shift that was confirmed.
I don't know how, haven't gotten into it. They all have a secondary territory that's like everybody can work outside of the 3 main territories. So they just I think they call it Illinois. So it's kind of anywhere that doesn't fall in to their assigned things. So I'm not real sure how that's going to play with the secondary territory. I haven't gotten to that yet, but I think that's less of an issue for them right now. Is they have a more set clients at the moment. So, but
Yeah.
that, and I'm kind of looking for, also I've got to get a mobile device hooked back up to something of is there a way for the tech to see their schedule on the mobile?
No, there's not, unfortunately. Yeah, that's something that, so okay. That was something that I was thinking about too, but if we did mobile publisher, it's called mobile app builder.
Yeah.
We might be able to do something like that. So, I mean, I could just build it right now. Let's just see what it is. I'm going to load up my QuickTime and then just.
So are you asking 2 things? These are the shifts that were proposed for me. Can I accept or confirm them on mobile? Or once they're there and that's my white space, can I see what those days and hours are? Hey, I'm a morning person on Sunday. I'm an evening person on Thursday. Is it like both of those or just
the second one? I think it's the second one for now. Yeah.
I want to see when I commit it to work.
Yeah, they're having a scheduler that's setting all of these. I don't think they're like agreeing or not. It's just kind of here's your schedule. But how can they? Is there a way for them to be able to see their schedule in field service mobile?
And it's not cute, that's for sure. So I'll steal the screen.
Okay. I got stopped.
I am restricted from sharing my screen.
Because of me?
I don't know. I am restricted. That's so funny. I was tinkering with my Zoom settings, and I clearly selected something. So it's hilarious. Let me see. What can I do? Host tools. That is so funny.
How did you block yourself from me?
I know. Kind of. You are restricted from sharing screen in this meeting. What did I do? Oh,
Because I'm not,
yeah.
it's not, mine's not still sharing anywhere.
No, it's a me thing. So like anybody can share. It's just me. That's why I asked you, like, do you have permission to share? And that's why I asked that. And I just took it away from everybody and then just, yeah, no, you are restricted from screen sharing this meeting. I must have done some global setting that said anyone in my domain and not. So how do I change that?
Are there puppets that could show?
I know, right? Well, actually, yeah, Melissa, can we drive the bus in your
Share,
org?
yeah. Tell me where you want me to go.
Okay. Not saying that you're a puppet, but okay. So let's go to mobile app builder.
App builder.
There it is. Okay, so we can create a new configuration and call it shifts. Yeah, I'm going to do it on my side too because I don't know if I'm going to direct you. Sometimes it's the muscle memory, right? Shifts, API name. Okay, so save. Ultimately, really all this is boiling down to is building a list view for, right, the navigation item on the bottom. So
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So it's like the first thing I want to do is build a tab bar, which means so down at the bottom, so you can hide that sharing thing because that might, yeah. Okay, when you hover there, you're going to see a plus, like maybe click on it and then plus. That should create a new item, which I don't see anything. The best we could do is a list view right now. So choose list view. And then on the right-hand side, we should be able to choose the shift. And then the tab label, I guess, I don't know, shift. And then save. Before we do, maybe we need to change the all shifts. Hit cancel for a second. I just did the exact same. I just told you to do that. And then, go to my shifts.
So,
and then, go to publish. Yes.
I like that. I see what you're doing, but I don't think anything's going to keep them from seeing list views they can see. Like you're supplying down there a list view. Once they go into it, I think that they can toggle. They could look at all if that was shared to them. So that may be a thing you need to control at the profile level or whatever. This list view is for you. You can see it. It's called My Shifts and it's sort of this way. But I think just choosing one there doesn't mean they can never see others.
Yeah. I'm just going to assign it to all profiles because I have no idea what profile I have.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't like that.
Cancel. No, I didn't like that for me either. Publish your configuration to make it visible for your users. I guess you cannot standard user and system admin. Let's see.
I needed to add more there, but because my shifts are not going to show anything for me. But
that's okay.
Okay, so shift.
Okay, I successfully assigned it. I couldn't do it to a system admin.
Can you share your mobile screen?
I don't know. Can I join on my phone? Maybe that might help. I can't even believe it. This is so funny. Shows that I should not be tinkering.
I think the friction you might get there, though, I guess smart as this is to go for, it's not a calendar view.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's
it might be the best we get from mobile for now. It'd be nice if there were
so close that it's frustrating.
That's its field service mobile summed up in one. Yeah, it would be not well. No, you can't do a schedule that's on search. Is there in
And
there?
I'm just about
there's
to
a way you
check.
can include your resource absences, but in the schedule. But that's just
There is a way to include the resource absences in the schedule. If you go to your field service mobile settings,
yeah. Well, I had it.
yeah, and setup, the setup field service mobile setup, yeah.
That is
Whoops.
not Expel Field.
You're
You're starting in the wrong spot.
Tell us how you really feel. Okay, so then. And then there should be, oh, is it there? No, maybe it's somewhere else. Maybe it's just in setup field service settings. I'm going there myself.
Settings. I went there, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's here.
And then
It should say display absences.
Yes.
Okay, well, if it's not there, then guess where it is? Then maybe it's in the managed package. There is a tick box somewhere that says display absences on mobile app.
That was another thing, and that if they've set this schedule out, if they then, and I don't know that they're even using resource absences, but if they then schedule a resource absent, is that going to unschedule or unconfirm that shift? Or is it still going to show? Or will the resource absence just override that they're available for that shift? Which one comes first?
Sorry, let's just go back to the thing that Bruce sent. Just bear with me for 1 second. It is in the mobile settings.
It's in the mobile settings.
Or at least it was as of winter 23.
Yeah, exactly. There it is. Right under additional settings. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So you can just edit that. I'm going to tick the time zone one for timesheet entries too, and enable timesheets because I need to test something else soon. All right, hit save. And just for people's general knowledge, if you are going to do the mobile app builder, all you have to do is just clear your cached metadata to see the new navigation item on the bottom page. You don't have to like log out and log in. And yes, so you're right about you need to have access to the records. So I'm going to just double check one shift to just see what kind of sharing there is. I thought, yeah, great. So consider sharing rules for shifts. I don't see them as part of the user territory shifts. But I'm just going to double check that because Gloria Barnes does have shifts, but she's not able to see them. And I do not know why. So my shifts list view.
Is that, oh, yeah, is she the owner of them?
Right.
Yeah,
so,
so maybe, I don't know if they did that, but if you check, can you go to Classic and check those list views? Is it like an essay list view? No.
So yeah, I'm going to actually check. I don't think it's there. So what they have in the SDO is a tick box. So if the current user equals the user of the service resource that it was assigned to, we have to do that platform trick. Man, it kind of sucks that I
What is
don't
that? A
can't
check
share my
box
screen.
for what?
Yeah, a checkbox it's a formula field checkbox that says if the logged on user is the same user as this shift that we assigned this to. So, but you have to do a jump, right? You got to look at the service resource and then the user. So if you open up one of those shifts, right, because we've assigned it to the service resource Jacob Klein, we have to do a bit of a jump. So what they've done in the demo org was create a formula field on the shift that says, is this my shift? So we can create this right now if you'd like.
So the other kind of
Can I see what though?
Bruce, first, what were you going to say, Bruce?
so the other kind of hack you could do is when the shift is assigned to a person and confirmed for them, make them the owner of the shift so that the list view really works.
That's a good, but yeah, you could do that too. So one or the other you could do, unless if you change the owner and it's a private sharing model, then the person who created it, whoever the manager is, you'd have to come up with sharing rules for that.
Yeah, share it back to
make it public.
Yeah. Share it back to the dispatchers or whoever. But
yeah.
And I would say if you're making that formula, I don't know how they did it in SEO, but you might need case safe ID in there. Just make sure like this matches that at 18 characters and not it's wrong because one's 15 and one's 8.
Well, it's referential. So if you create a new formula field.
I want to see what he can see logging in.
Oh.
Let's just see.
That's a good idea.
What does he see when he goes to shifts? If anything, he might not even be able to see.
Yeah, he might not even be able to see shifts, right? And that's what I'm seeing on mine, right? So I don't see any shifts on mine. Oh, that's how I can share my screen. Look at that. I can do it.
Okay, so. So he can't see.
Yeah, so option one is make them public.
Yeah.
I mean, I just might do that right now, but then you still lose the concept of my, right? So the my, or even if it's like a territory manager. So what people have done too is if I'm the logged on user and the service resources manager's user ID is me, presuming you use manager properly on the user record, then now all of a sudden it's ticked. And you can, as the manager of Jacob, I could see all of my team's.
I don't know if they have them in.
Yeah, let's check it.
I'm on there.
I'll paste in the formula in the chat here so that you can.
And then have a manager assigned.
Oh, right. So if they don't have a manager assigned, then they don't have that. So they're like the shifts don't fall under that user territory magic, unfortunately. Okay, so the other formula that they have here is this shift in the past? That's kind of a good one because then you can have that tick box to say what's upcoming and what's in the past. So you can use that as a filter. So let me paste this in the chat. And then, which therefore means your my shifts have to change from all shifts, add filter, assigned to me equals true. And then, do I need to my shifts? Pull this down? Yeah, I need to reset my metadata because I made a list view change. All right. Oh, but I still don't see any shifts. What?
And she had
shifts. And she has shifts assigned to her.
with the my shifts
So,
list view shows.
yes, it's still, I guess, if it's private, even though you've added all that, like, can they see if it's owned by someone else and not shared to them at all?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so absolutely, you're right. Yeah, good point. Yep.
So the
sharing.
my shift is showing me as an admin. I'm seeing
Okay.
everyone.
Because
So,
you have
was that
visibility to
created?
see all records. Yeah, you're the owner, and maybe it's your system admin to see everything. So I'm just checking my sharing rules to see what I have in my org, and shifts are private, and I'm going to just change it to be public. I'm just going to make it public read only. Because really, what do people really need to do? But that's a good point about changing the owner. Like maybe this is the right use case to change the owner, because typically we don't like changing owners in field service because of all the sharing rules, extra stuff that we give to like the public groups. If we do use user territories, we don't typically like changing the owner, especially on the service appointment and the work order. So,
Of course, if you let them be the owner, then they've got full control to change it.
then they've got full control. Right. So then, okay, I finally, all right, here, I'll share my screen. I now have shifts, but it's the list view. I don't have a cute calendar view like I see on the mobile app. So that's going to be the discrepancy number 1, I would say. Because I would say too that the timesheets that we see, all timesheets. Oh, I can't even see timesheets. All right, that'll be another office hours. And the way that they show is at least it's grouped by the date, right? It's easier to see. And then, but this, I'm actually just only seeing the start time, the end time. So then I can click on it and see. So you for sure would have to set it up so that it's not in the past. So I would change my shift view that says add filter in the past equals false, and then save that. That way I'm not seeing anything in the or create another list view to say all my past shifts. But those are some of those jobs to be done that I would want to know too. Do the resources, do the technicians have the ability to swap shifts or create some sort of flag on the shift that says can't do it? Weird. So
if you get that list view on there where they see the day and the shifts, so you can click in, tap into that and see the details. So you could do I could or something.
Yeah, I might be able to. So I do have actions here. So we could take a look at what record actions do I want to create? What flows do I want to create off of the shift object? Just to see, do we want to add any additional capabilities? So from my perspective, happy path is, as a tech, I want to see my shifts, period. If I have any issues, I could, I even spelled shift wrong on my app builder, I just noticed. It's a good thing I'm not sharing my screen. So that would be like the happy pass. Maybe they can chatter on the shift, things like that might be a place to go, which therefore means I have to enable the chatter feed for that shift object because it's not enabled. Feed tracking is not enabled. I just noticed that right now. I'm going to see if I can add feed tracking for that shift object. And we'll see if the platform supports it. Because, sometimes we've got special. Okay, let's see. Feed tracking, scrolling down. I have shift. I can enable feed tracking. Is that okay? So we could, so at least I have that. So now does that mean in the app, will that give me a page layout or a tab for feed? Let's find out. I'm going to reset clear my metadata and see if that helps. And I just renamed I just renamed the app label and it changed it really quickly, which is nice. I just noticed that the formula doesn't work for is in the past. That is not a functioning formula because I'm still seeing all the past ones. And no, I still do not see that. So that might mean I have to change my page layout of the shift object to make it feed, right? Like you can have a page layout that is feed based. So we might need to create a different page layout. So again, what exactly is that capability that we need in the app for shifts to give to customers? Layout properties. No, if we can. If I create a new page layout, here we go, testing our platform app builder. Oh, yes. Okay. So when you create a new page layout, I think that's the only way to enable the feed-based layout. Let me just check one more time, properties. Cancel. Yeah, I wasn't able to turn on the page layout, like just change it so that it would be feed-based. I actually have to create a brand new page layout. Shift feed layout. And then tick the box. That sucks. I guess it is what it is. And then I'll change my page layout assignment. But right, yeah. So that if they have, perfect. Thank you. And I have to do the
Trying to follow.
I got feedback. Yeah, go ahead.
There's no like outside the box thing for I want to show them the shifts. I want to show it as a calendar. They can't get that here. FS Mobile doesn't support it. Here's a list view. But like if they have Salesforce Mobile, is there a deep link? Like, could you go to the Shift UI and see that, or is that like too busy and weird?
So not just that, but I wonder if I can get access to the calendar and can I calendar anything, right? And like display my shifts in the calendar.
That's all for another way, but
yeah, we could be here for hours.
Yeah, we can explore what are all of the platform things that we can do. So I can do on my calendar, new calendar, object is shift. Oh, it's not. Wait, scrolling.
It's
not available. that object is not available in the calendar. Son of a gun.
Of course not.
So no, that's not an option, but the shift tab, is that an option? I don't know. I have to make sure that that tab is available to my end user. So let's go to my profile and do it there, I guess. Good one. Yeah, it's almost like just give them a deep link to the Salesforce app, and then
Could you do a tab down here that would do that?
so I'm wondering, because the only thing that component does are those things on the left. So could someone build a cute LWC? That would be nice. Ooh, what are you saying here, Varsha?
Yeah, so there's something that I did a POC on. I haven't used it in a project, so can't vouch for it. But there are some LWC components which we can directly use. And I think this one is like something it's like packaged, so you can go in and just install in your org and expose it. And it lets you show a report, but on the SFS mobile app. So probably that could be something like, if we generate a report and then expose it, this could give them a view. And then if they want to go into the specifics or approve or shift, then probably navigate to the Salesforce mobile app. Not pretty, but I found this to be interesting. And I think it's in the same path that you were saying.
Well, I somehow didn't get English, so when I opened drilling.
There is. Oh my gosh, yes. Somehow here, what is this, German?
I don't even know.
I don't know why that happened. That happens to me sometimes too. Like the last time it was Spanish. Somehow it thought that I needed to see it in Spanish. There is a starter kit. So there is hold on one second. Where's my GitHub? Great. Two-factor authentication. I'll send the link. So what Barsha's talking about is true. Hold on, let me just get my. This is the most. I haven't tested it either. I've got the package downloaded on my machine, and I have not installed GitHub. I mean, these packages. So let's see my profile, and I'll send you the link shortly. What am I following?
So this is building like a dashboard on for mobile.
Yeah.
Summary of time. That's kind of interesting.
Full calendar with LWC. No, that's something different. SFS utils. I thought we had it. I guess I didn't start it. Yikes. They did give examples that you can download. Actually, if anybody wants, this is actually a good resource to have. In this developer guide, it gives you access to the iOS simulator and the Android emulator. I don't know why one's a simulator and one's an emulator, but if you wanted to present the mobile app instead of just plugging into your machine like I do, then you could use this. It's a little bit temperamental, but it does work.
That would be nice. I don't have a way to test Android machines.
That's how exactly. So I do the emulator to do that. iOS simulator, you need Xcode, and it takes like 100 gigs. Like it's something massive. It's a beast on my machine, so I always have to uninstall it because it takes up so much space. But the Android one, it's easier to work with. Where is that GitHub? They did build components.
Here's this mobile samples.
Where? Yes, that's the one.
I went from this that you sent us.
Yeah.
What can I do with? And it says work with LWCs. And then there's our list.
Yeah. That's the one.
On nearby reschedule. Mobile dashboards.
Yeah, that's the one. So all projects, all of them are there. Could you do me a favor? Can you send me that link?
Mm-hmm. Put it in
Thank you.
chat.
Yeah, thank you.
Projects folder.
I started to play with this, but it's not my favorite. So it's what I have understood. So Courtney Cervantes pinged the LinkedIn community recently and asking for help, just like maintaining Lightning Web Components. So she made a change, tried to deploy it. It didn't refresh, even with log out, log in, all the things that you normally do. And so she had to talk to Kevin Oda about it, which means, you got to go to a product manager. And
did they get anything fixed?
And I don't know. I haven't heard from her or I haven't followed up with her on it to see what it is. But there's some nuance with Lightning Web Components, and I try very hard to not use this just because of that. Yeah.
And it looked so promising when they first came out with it.
I know. It really is like cool. But there's just a lot of considerations when you implement those. Anyways, I don't know if you all have seen, but on LinkedIn too, there was some guy who was ranting about how long his field service mobile flow has become and like how you can't use an if statement. And it was just funny, not funny. That that day I was having the same kind of like pulling my hair out, and I had to message Bruce and be like, what in the hell? How does this if formula not work? He's like, yeah, well, you're going to have to just assign whatever it is as a variable and then do two decisions. And if it's blank, then go down a path.
Put on your flare pants. Protect 2017.
Exactly. So that was pretty fun. So I thought maybe we could do a refresher on field service mobile flows if we wanted to like laugh and cry together. That might be an interesting thing to do. Because again, I wanted to go ahead.
Like a long-term, like Gary, do your homework. I think a question would be contractor licensing.
Okay.
Like the whole alphabet soup of what they call it, what it's sold as and the SKUs and everything. But then where are the pinch points, and do you get burned if is there an assumption out there, I never need a partner license to do XYZ, and then someone wants you to cut a corner or do a little bit of an uplift or something, and then somewhere I guess this is turning into a therapy session, but how to make sense of the minimum viable needs and what the red flags might be when someone asks you XYZ about licensing for contractors.
Yeah. It's interesting because we'll just do a little bit of a soapbox thing and talk about it. I spoke with a customer maybe 5 or 6 years ago, no, maybe longer than that, 7 years ago. And they were going to put into all of their contractor contracts, for lack of a better phrase, that if you want to work with us, you have to use our mobile device. And those contractors said, okay, then we just won't work with you anymore. It's so, what sucks is they service rural areas in Canada, and there aren't a lot of people who can service those areas. So they had to crawl back that clause, and they don't use the app. I found that to be interesting. So yeah, it's like, do we want those users to actually log into the app? And then, because we have digital engagement, there's an app exchange product out there called TrackerBot, where TrackerBot Salesforce app exchange. Oops.
Tracker? Are you saying Tracker?
Yeah, I'm going to paste the link. I found it. Yeah, Tracker. So the idea is the bot communicates to a contact, a phone number, right? Sends text messages to that assigned resource contractor that says, hey, we're going to assign this to you. And it's not a contractor license, or we have one contractor license for the company. And then the company tells us, the phone number of the technician that's going to be fulfilling the job, because we could just send that person text messages to update the status, add some notes, take some photos. Oh, actually, I don't know if we can take photos, but for sure it can update data.
So you're saying this app exchange only uses one license and they can send it to as many?
Well, it's like a
contractors as
digital
possible?
engagement license that can send text messages to contacts, and the contacts could be the people but it's just about the scheduling part. So how do you schedule it to that contact, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how that piece gets worked around, but you probably need at least one contractor license for the company, and then maybe make it capacity based. And then they indicate the phone number of the person that's actually going to do the work, populate that on the service appointment, something like that. And then this can be, yeah. And I've seen some solutions that use Slack. Slack is pretty cool, because then you could just message Slack and say, hey, what's my schedule today? I don't have any kind of solutions for that. Like, that's cute and out of the box. But yeah, like all of the various ways that we could handle contractors is pretty, I don't know. I guess there's 3 that I know of. Like this SMS way, Slack, and then the traditional way where we have either a named user or company, and we ask them to log into the app and do all the things. We set up a community. They use a dispatch console. They could use that in the partner community, and the partners can manage their stuff, their appointments that way. But when you think about a contractor, there's a lot of people, like a lot of businesses out there who support competitors of yours, right? So for example, like I could be like so I know for sure, right? So IBM has like a help desk, and they service, think like Dell and Cisco and their competitors' clients. And sometimes they have to like take off their IBM uniform and put on their Cisco uniform if they're going to go to a Cisco client site, right? Something like that. That's a very, unique thing that contractors need to do. So yeah, there's a lot, and there's like no real templated way, because you'd have to find out, well, how do you run your business, Mr. Contractor? Or how do you, business, how do you outsource your work? And does that contractor work with your competitors? I had one that said they were a contractor who worked with clients who had Salesforce Field Service. And what they wanted to do was feed in to those two, like Salesforce to Salesforce to Salesforce kind of like connection, their availability. So I thought, oh, that would be kind of cool. Like use MuleSoft to send appointment data and convert it into a resource absence into the, the client org. So if I'm a contractor, I could send my availability in real time because I got booked for an appointment and I'm going to just send you and all my other customers a payload of my availability. Here's a resource absence. I'm going to be at this address at this time. So if you want to schedule an appointment to me, here's where I'm going to be. And then maybe that's how you get their real-time location. I thought that was a really neat solution, but that was only a dream. Nobody actually implemented that. I know. Cool idea. But yeah, they didn't end up going with it. Anybody else have any contractor stories? And then we can spend a day together going through like a standard issue contractor implementation and then talk about all of the nuances.
Probably spend a month together doing that.
Probably, yeah. All right. Anybody else have anything? Got a couple minutes left. Sorry, I couldn't share my screen. Melissa, thank you for taking over. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have anything? Any closing remarks? All right. So I did load a new video up to talk about shifts. So Melissa, like based off of what you shared with me, because one thing that I wanted to dive into was, is there a way to just recreate all of the shifts and then do some sort of shift assignment automation? That might be interesting. I don't know
That's
how
what
far
I
that goes.
That's what I was trying to do, but I couldn't. I thought I had it figured out that it would give me the shift template ID on the created shift, and then I could just have the template have a resource, but it doesn't. They don't. The shift template doesn't come with a. I mean, the shift doesn't create with a shift template ID.
Which is kind of sucky because I was thinking that too. Like, I want to know, like, similar to work orders that were created by a maintenance plan, at least I have some sort of reference to say this was created by this maintenance plan. But I don't have that with shifts. I found that a little bit disappointing.
And I don't know how to get into, I mean, like, where's that button? The create, well, now, what's it? The create from pattern or create from template, like, is there a way to get into that button to make it do other things? You know what I mean?
Right. Like some sort of magic field set or some sort of like label or something like that you can get there to add fields to. I don't know. Yes. Good question. I can ask if anybody's working on shifts right now and see if there's anything on the roadmap for shifts, but I haven't heard that in a while. Ooh. But I have
from template. Can we get into this button and say pass this template ID or, to either one of these buttons?
Exactly. Like a field mapping like we do with a lead conversion. Go ahead, Bruce.
I wonder, is another way of asking, are those available as invocables? Like, could you surface that in a flow if they are?
I don't know. I didn't check that either. Check to see if it's an invocable action and we can add it into a flow. Yeah, maybe. Getting into the advanced stuff here. This is good. Okay, so based off of the audience here, I can get a report of who actually attended. I can send you some screenshots of what the new dispatcher console is going to look like. They're currently in a closed beta, and they are going to start having regular, they being the product team, they're going to have regular meetings with the product advisory board to just get more feedback on what that dispatcher console needs to look like. Today, I had an hour-long conversation with them about what the map needs to look like. And so Safe Harbor one of the key things that they want to be able to deliver is the ability to change the map source to be maybe Esri or basically anything except Google. Specifically, that requirement came from China because China doesn't allow anything in like Google in their country. So Google, like that it's just not an available feature. So if you are in China and you've got field service, that map gives you a broken link icon. So that was where that came from, but that's not coming, I think, until anyways, I have a screenshot so I can send you what the roadmap looks like. And then they've changed the layout completely to have it where the Gantt is at the top and then the list view of service appointments are at the bottom. And then there's like a right-hand side panel where you can have a map and you could pop out the map too. But one thing that they've decided to offer, which is awesome, is like a layer experience. So if you want to have a map layer for what has been scheduled on the Gantt, and then also layer on what's all the appointments that are in the list view, you can have two kind of layers, or pins, right? So anything that's, I don't know, I'm going to just use colors for example, like anything that's green is considered schedule on the Gantt. And then anything that's blue is unscheduled that could be available. So we had one customer who said, I want to review your optimization job and I want to see what you missed. I'm like, I don't know what's been missed. Like, what the hell? So we had to download all the data and we had to plot all this stuff on a map. And it was just not fun to do. So allegedly, this map type of layering offer is available to us. And yeah, so we would be able to create a list view to say, okay, well, what was missing from this schedule or this route that was created so that we can say what was in and what was out. We won't be able to know why, but at least we can see it. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that change. At least it's not this visual force piece anymore. I think it's going to be modular Lightning Web Components. And then the idea is that you can create your own Lightning Web Components, although that customization is not like listed on a roadmap item. So that's probably a long way to go.
Well, I think, isn't that what Service Max looks like as far as your Gantt on the top and
they made it look like Service Max.
Yeah, great. It did look a little bit. I've only done a little bit of Service Max, moving it from Service Max to Field Service. But
yeah, and one thing that
I kind of like this one.
The one thing that Service Max offered too was the ability to schedule work orders instead of service appointments. So we've had one customer who was really having a difficult time wrapping their head around scheduling a service appointment. And we actually have some customers who want to have a list view of a work order, like because they've got the multi-service appointment scenario with my multi-service appointment generator. I just want to see what the Gantt looks like for this one work order. So I don't know where they are with that, but and I think for one customer, what we ended up doing was we actually created a territory, like a temporary service territory for that project. And I think it's working out pretty well. Like they like it because they can actually see this is the team that's going to be on site for this project. And that's how they're seeing all of the appointments for that project. It's a pretty interesting approach to work around that. A lot of flows though, right, Bruce and Natalie?
A lot of something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of complexity there.
Yeah, but the end result is pretty cute. So, all right. Well, I think that concludes our time today. Oh, we're 2 minutes over. Sorry for keeping you. I guess I'll talk to you all next time. Thanks for hopping on.
Thank you.
Thanks for your help.
All right.
Thank you.